Well, this is Monday. I believe it's 24th. Yeah, 24th of February. So I just picked up my truck at Kenworth, and you can see that look at that snow. So the spring is coming. When you see snow like this, well, I hope it's not gonna snow again, but it still can. And let me show you the new look. So of course I didn't have time to wash the truck, so everything is very dirty. And somebody told me that actually all this stuff, they don't use it in Western Canada. So somebody told me that all this salt that you can see on fenders and wheels, it's all from look at this, it's all from Northern Ontario, you know. And of course this is nasty, so we're gonna clean this up sometime soon, you know. When you cannot read Alcoa on your rims, that's not good. But that's exactly what it looked like last time, you know, after the last trip. And one more thing I learned, maybe it's because all the weight was here, but you see I was using this blue shim, right, which is my mid-size. Like yellow is the smallest, blue is the medium size. I'm not sure how many millimeters or inches or a quarter of an inch it is. Oh, check this out. This is loose. Okay. So now we can disconnect this, but I doubt we can disconnect this. Yeah, this is all in. But basically interesting thing I found is that when that scraper was sitting here, right, and part of the weight was transferred here through those boards, but still there was a lot of weight on this particular bolster. And when a buddy of mine looked at it, he says you need a bigger shim, because we saw there was actually, like you see now, it's almost straight, like the top line, like this line, compared to this, right? So what you don't want to have is you don't want to have negative angle. And actually now it's pretty much straight, but when the scraper was here, this thing was like, this side was higher than this side, so there was a negative angle in here. And maybe again it was partially because I had to use this tie down, so of course I was pulling up on this whole thing, you know. That might be part of the reason. But basically the good thing is that I don't need any shims in here. See, that's what the JC trailer told me. I don't need any shims between the spreader bar and the axle there, and I don't need them over here. But eventually we're gonna reinstall this. We're gonna switch to 2+2, so now we have 3+1, right? And because that axle doesn't have any connectors, see in the back there's no connectors. Good thing I checked. Forgot to put the air in the last axle. And so there's no connectors here, you see? No eyes. So I cannot just take that axle and hook up here. So this has to be disconnected. And then we have to take this axle and put in between here. Right? Because that one has this. And I still might need a shim between, when this axle is over there, I still might need a shim between them, but we'll see. Basically I like this setup much better, so you don't need to worry about any shims, because all this air pushes down on this, right? So it pushes down, so probably the front axle will be a bit higher, but actually wait, this part, that's what pushes down. This will be connected to that axle, right? So it'll be actually pushing down on axle 1, But you know, you see over here now it's pretty tight, right? So there's only a little bit of room at the bottom, but you can still put a shim in here, but it's not necessary. But basically what I'm trying to say is that once I move that one here, I will need to make sure that I don't have a negative angle with loads. But you see, I didn't disconnect this, and so we just loaded the Jeep like this. I hope this does not catch my wheels when I'm driving. Well, there shouldn't be too much wind, right? Because it's not on the ground. Anyway, everything is dirty, ugly. Sorry to show you this kind of condition, but yeah, you see now I have 6 boards, like 6 boards, and then I have this. The top one, it's pretty short. That's what I got for free from the trailer plant, because we used that one to when we loaded the Stinger on the back, right? But everything else is cool. Yeah, except when I was hooking up, a funny thing happened. You know, I connected all the hoses, right, when I was hooking up to the trailer before unloading, when I had to take the snack off, right? And so I connected all hoses, and when I started the PTO, all of a sudden there was a lot of noise coming from this. And I didn't show this in the video, but I was a bit confused, like, why? I never heard that kind of noise, you know, like very high-pitched noise coming from this area. And when I tried to operate the hydraulics, nothing worked. You know, nothing worked, but it showed like 150 psi of pressure. And John, of course, he has much more experience with hydraulic systems because all his trucks are hydraulic. He says, probably, did you check the hoses? Are they all connected? And I double check again, they were all connected, but then he says, maybe one didn't go full enough, you know. And I look at the bottom one over here, you can see that hole. And the bottom one was not fully connected, and because there's a stopping valve in there, it didn't leak, and that's what confused me. You know, like you would expect the stuff to leak, but no, it does not leak because there's a valve, but it cannot go through. And so I grabbed a hammer and a screwdriver, and I put the tip of the screwdriver on the side fitting on the hose. See, like here. So you have these things that stick out. So if you put a screwdriver in here, you know, when it doesn't want to go in, and you just, you know, tap with a hammer, it just boom, slides right in, and the D-ring closes. And that's what happened. As soon as we did that, I restarted the PTO, and the noise disappeared. But I think that's when I just noticed I had a leak in here. Never had this before. I'm pretty sure this happened when I had that crazy pressure. It was this hose in here leaked a little bit, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it, see what happens. But I don't think it's a regular leak. Like everything is in place, you know. Nothing is broken. And so the major reason I was here, if you remember, the truck came with splash guards like this one. See, so now see how much better it is. Like all this was open before, right? So now this area is closed, and you only have this tiny gap in here. And so now I don't think I'll have such big issues with water separator fuel filter in there. And it's dirty because this is my original one, right? Because when I broke the passenger side one, and because they're so expensive, I just took them both off, and now this is the brand new one, and they repainted it using my paint coat. So once the truck is clean, it's gonna be, you know, they're gonna look awesome. So like all that space was open before, right? So now it protects the engine bay from dirt, and when it's super cold, it protects the bottom of the engine from cold wind. And in case somebody's wondering why I have signs, is because I'm over 75 feet long, and in Ontario that's okay because I'm running with my annual permit. Except now, of course, I cannot park in my regular spot in the parking yard because I left the booster down. I thought I would find a load quickly, but I spent whole day today looking for loads. Let's see how, if I drop this and take the neck with me and go to a Walmart or something, let's see if this will fit. So, you know, if I drop the trailer in my spot in my parking yard but take the neck with me, because I know this way I'm 85 feet long, my neighbors will not be happy because they will have difficult time backing into their spots. But let's see this. Oh, hold on, maybe it's easier to count this way and then do the mathematics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 85 minus 25, 60, right? 60, 61, 62, 63. Wait a second. So it'll be less, it won't be 64, it'll be like 56. No, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the trailer from here because, you know, you cannot park here. And then I'm just drop the trailer and take the truck and go to Starbucks or Walmart or something like that. Hopefully I'll be able to find a load in tomorrow or the day after. So that was a quick update from Kitchen, Ontario. Thanks for watching.